What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We have week two of the NFL to break down and recap of all its glory. And before we hop into today's episode, let's go down and like and subscribe. Comment how you felt about this week. If your team won, your team lost, let us know. If you cashed a bet, let us know. But as always, I'm Paul Pickle, Wyndham Contra, and I'm joined
And
with.
you already know it's your boy Kev. Hold up, let me clean my screen. Water boy, Savoy, aka the Don PYE. Feel me? Ah, fresh off of my prime time, late night, come from behind W this Monday. Know what I'm saying, Paul?
How you feeling?
I wish you was a Bucks fan so I could talk shit to you. But I like the Dolphins.
How you feeling about that prime time? First win of the season on the
I mean,
road.
like I've been trying to tell you, best safety in the league. But I realized that we're the best safety. We got the best safety and the best secondary in the league, but we just don't show up every We just don't play like it every play. But this game, when they needed to, the best secondary in the league pulled up. They got the stops on third down. The only way they was able to convert on third or fourth down was because Jalen Hurts was running that thing. So all we had to do was just make sure we ain't let him run that thing. Make him throw it to Saquon ass.
Saquon sold so bad, right? He still had a little bit of Giants left in him, right? A little bit of that blue.
Niggas be like, oh man, Saquon dropped the ball. They shouldn't have thrown it. They should have ran the ball and ran out the clock. Bitch ass nigga, our defense said, hey, bro, you run that shit, we stuffing it. Your best play call is motherfucking throwing that motherfucker to the flats. And boy, it's you and me in that flats. You and me. And when it was you and me, you fucked up before I even had to make you fuck up.
Yeah, that was bro. That shit was so easy to simple catch. It's a completely different outcome after that.
And,
But
and
now
you know,
got his
ESPN put up the stats with Saquon having the most drops by any running back over the last 4 years.
damn. I didn't know he had that. I didn't know that was on his
You
name.
know, you know they pulled that stat up.
They had that shit lurking, just waiting for oh fuck, Saquon sold. We have a stat for that.
And I mean, there's a lot of critical plays because the fact that let's take it back. So if you didn't know, we're introducing the Monday night game, recapping my Falcons getting their dub. Paul, tell me the score
22-21.
over the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. And if you didn't know, the price of the brick is going up in Philly. So we have a Falcons offense who is slowly but surely figuring themselves out throughout the game. The running game is saving us, keeping us afloat. The short passes to Bijan is keeping us afloat. But there was a while Kirk could not secure a decent pass to a wide receiver. Like him and Darnell Mooney was fucking up. Motherfucking him and Drake London wasn't getting it together. Kyle Pitts could only catch the short balls and take them up for 4 yard gains and shit. But Kirk looked kind of pitiful most of the game. Not most of the game, but there are points in time he just looked pitiful. And not pitiful in like a terrible player, but he was just coming on the field with his head down. He motherfucking he was starting to huddle too far back from the snap. Like it was just like it just didn't look like he was ready to come over here. But once he caught life in that fourth quarter after Saquon dropped it, and we got another chance to come down. Our defense kept us in the game. We had another chance to come down. They looked like motherfucking. He looked like the captain. We had to screen you like that. He drives it down. We get the fourth quarter comeback. He gets the touchdown to Drake London, and we win this bitch. But the thing was, there was still time left on the clock, Paul. And I thought we shouldn't have been worried, but we should have. Motherfucking Jalen Hurts, that kick return, and then Jalen Hurts off the first two plays, they get them boys 15 yards away from field goal range with 27 seconds left, and I think two timeouts. They could have did something. The only way to have won this game was by stops, but it's a chess game. It's chess, not checkers. Devontae Smith was cooking us all game. That Jalen Hurts thought, yeah, why wouldn't I force it down low to him? Force it up top to him in the fourth with only 20 seconds left when all we really need is 5 yards. Jesse Bates, give me that, which was get back because there was a couple of third or downs where Jalen needed to get stopped, and this motherfucker missed the tackle. Get back. He gets his get back, seals the game for us. We walk out of Philly with a fucking dub. It was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful night to be a Falcons fan.
Yeah, and then Drake London airing that shit out after he scores the touchdown and moves that bitch back for Young Hoku to sink in like a 40-something yarder. Never a doubt for Ku, though.
And fun fact, Bill Belichick was explaining Young Hoku, and he said that like Young Hoku was he originally got drafted by somebody. I want to say San Diego, but he got drafted by somebody, then eventually got cut because he wasn't him for real. Then he was on the practice squad for Bill until Atlanta signed him, and then Atlanta signed him, and he just flourished.
Let's click, yeah. All it takes is the right scenery.
Now he has the third best field goal percentage in history for people that apply.
I didn't know that. I knew he was up there, but I didn't know he was number 3. Shout
Yeah,
out.
It's behind Butler and Tucker.
Yeah, he hit, was it 4 field goals this game?
Yeah, we needed that boy.
Yeah, but made some big plays. Second half, y'all's offense kind of came alive, scoring multiple touchdowns.
That's not checkers, homie.
It wasn't like Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney found himself like y'all got an extra like that deep threat versatility. Like now y'all got another option.
I think what they did was we really came into this game throwing away last game. We said whatever happened last game didn't happen.
Yeah, and I'm worried if I'm an Eagles fan. Like, yeah, they're 1-1, but they're an ugly 1-1. This is like we're a couple years removed from the Super Bowl. We're a couple years removed from the MVP Jalen Hurts takes. We're a couple years removed from Nick Sirianni Coach of the Year takes, and you got more weapons. And I mean, a lot of people screaming Hurts is this and that. I mean, some people may have been saying, some people was me saying that Jalen Hurts looked like Kenny Pickett with wheels out there without AJ Brown, and he didn't like. He had a couple big runs, but that was it. Like the runs, I think was what saved his day. If he didn't have them runs, his day was atrocious. Like Devontae Smith only could do so fucking much out there because that was his only favorite target. He wasn't really doing, he wasn't being him. He wasn't being $200 million worth of him.
Yeah, we had that shit on lock. What you mean? But nah, the corners definitely again. I think it was half and half. Our pass rush was there some games, some parts of the game.
Judon with the sack.
Yeah, Judon was a problem all game.
And this close to like another sack and a big tackle for a lot. Like he was getting there.
Yeah, but like it's just like one of those things that Bill said it best. There's only if you're only rushing forward, there's 6 gaps. So like you can only do so much sometimes. Like you just gotta make sure when you catch him in the open field, you tackle and you don't let him get these big 25-yard gains. But he was getting them. But if he didn't do those, the offense would have been quite stagnant.
Yeah. And we'll see it's only week 2. They're both 1-1, but the Falcons are coming out looking good, whereas I feel like the Eagles are looking like, okay, this might not be the same Super Bowl contender team that some of these people. I know Sam right now is and Corey, both fans I know that are talking about. Okay, we ain't who I thought we were pre-week 1.
I mean, they're the only teams that look decent in their division. So, and they might. So like they have that going for them. But their rushing defense was not there. Bijan Robinson was able to open up a lot of things for us.
Kirk was fucking had a clean pocket all game.
I wouldn't say all game, but there were sometimes he was getting sacked and hurried a little bit. But for most of for a good 70% of the snaps, he kind of was able to do his thing. Right. But yeah, it was a great game. Shout out them and shout out the Eagles for fucking up because if they had came back and kicked the field goal to win the game, I would have been so sick.
Yeah, no.
I would have been sick. But that was good. We put that Eagle pack in the air real quick.
All right. Well, now on to the rest of the week. Running down our numbers real quick. For week 2, Kev went 9-7 to my 7-9. So Kev gets the week 2 award. Then we go down to the locks. Kev once again went 1-1. The 49ers didn't pan out. And who was your other? Oh no, that wasn't your lock. Your lock was the Lions. The Lions didn't pan out, but the Chargers did. And then your dog was the Saints. They definitely panned out. I went 2-0 in my locks once again, sitting at 4-0 in the locks yet to miss. I had the Seahawks and Jets. That was, I mean, 2 sweaty games when we get to those. And then 0-1, another loss in the dogs for me. This is back-to-back weeks. I went the Giants route. This week they definitely should have won. We'll get into that a little bit later. But
Oh no, man. Nigga said, like you said, man, Jaden Daniels and them just enough.
I mean, we can. Is that a 1 o'clock game? It is a 1 o'clock game. We jump into that first. Commanders 21, Giants 18, and the reason why this one was it shouldn't have happened the way it happens is Graham Gano gets hurt, so their kicker's out. So now they have to start going for it. So now they put you're 1 step behind, and then come in the fourth quarter. I think they were like a 38-yarder, 40. It would have been like a 40-yarder that they were definitely Graham Gano's distance. Instead, they have to go for it on 4th and 4. They throw it. Danny Dimes was in his bag this game. He throws a perfect pass to Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors drops that bitch, sells that. He pulled a Saquon Barkley. He pulled a Barkley. We just talked about this where there was no, and lo and behold, Washington gets the ball, and that's all you need. Like at that point, they lost. Like if the Giants had a kicker, you're not in that position. First off, second of all, Malik Neighbors, what the fuck you doing dropping that? You're supposed to be him. They unretired the number 1 for your ass. But that was 100 years ago. The last time they seen a number 1 on the Giants field. But I mean, a loss is a loss. We won't remember this come week 17.
Nah, that shit is funny because I was watching that game thinking like, damn, Paul really knew something when he said that fucking the Giants just have the Commanders kryptonite. And I was like, huh, Danny Wheels really oiled up the wheels and still cooking. Like Paul really knew something. And then when I heard about the kickers thing, I was like, huh, that's kind of interesting. That's not going to be a problem though later. Like they're getting fucked up. And the Commanders had their kicker who actually set a team record with 7 field goals, which is one away.
Jit's a rookie. And he might not be rookie. He might just be youngin, but I do know he's fresh legs in the NFL.
And Jit was 1 away from the NFL record, which is 8. So like sometimes, man, kicking is essential, man. If you can get one upper hand on your opponent, sometimes special teams is all you need.
5 of the kicks were was shorter than an extra point. Giants defense is a bend don't break type of day for them, but like I mean that shows to you. I think it was 69 total pass touchdowns were scored this and within 2 weeks total to just show you like how much points are needed, and it like you take the fucking 3. Giants, not your fault. All right, we're not blaming you. You didn't have someone who could put the 3 up for you, but like Washington just showed you that. Yeah, we can win a fucking game off of the straight 3 only.
I'm blaming them because Ocho Cinco hit a Ocho. You gotta have that one random player that can kick field goals. Like Ocho Cinco was the backup kicker, I think, for the Bengals. And when the kicker got hurt, I think he hit one either in the preseason or the playoffs. I can't remember.
Facts. I remember I remember seeing that highlight so many times throughout my years growing up. But yeah, divisional game, Commanders. Jalen Daniels, shout out to him. He gets his first win, first ever win in the NFL. Got a little nugget. No rookie quarterbacks yet to throw a touchdown in the NFL. So like
none.
Still on the board. One of these boys can get it.
Yeah, but Marvin Harrison has caught more touchdowns than all these motherfuckers have thrown.
Yeah, you only needed 1, but Next game, big upset. Ravens losing at home, 23-26 to the Raiders. Raiders are now 1-1. Lamar is 0-2 to start the year. I think there's only been there's only a handful of teams that start off 0-2 and have gone on to make the playoffs. So this is definitely, no time to panic just yet, but it isn't the best start you would want,
Peep
especially
this.
against the Raiders.
Peep this. 0-2. I can't remember if Lamar got drafted in 2019, but Lamar hasn't had an 0-2 start since 2019. Possibly never ever. John Harbaugh hasn't had an 0-2 start since 2014. A reigning MVP hasn't had an 0-2 start in the last like 22 years or something like that. But we're sitting here talking how the Baltimore Ravens were within the game and had a chance to steal the game, or steal games that they didn't play well in, but instead they lost twice. And then the first one we didn't trip, reigning champs. But you just lost to this Raiders team, and we don't know what the fuck Gardner Minshew was at quarterback until he started cooking in this game. And I want to just sit there and blame it on our offense. But the Raiders have a good defense on the low. Like I can't deny it right now. Like Max Crosby, when he got that second sack to seal some shit, they just were game wrecking, and they had the fucking Ravens number. They kept them out of tune. Zay Flowers was the only person that they could hit, and then more than anything, if Lamar couldn't see Zay Flowers, look at Zay Flowers and then just run around and then go snap on his own line. Like that was the entire game from my point of view.
So I'm gonna say what kind of I thought about with the Ravens, but I didn't really think. I thought maybe it'd be a little better. I do think it'll be better end of the year, but Lamar, this is the year that like it's now on his shoulder. He got the bag and everything, MVP, but the O line isn't the same. Why? Because they kind of wanted to make sure they went out and bought you shiny new toys. Like you wanted weapons, you didn't want the O line, so they got you weapons. So now it's on you. Like, hey, like you wanted Derrick Henry, you wanted someone that you could be back there. Like, oh, you before the season started, they were like literally everyone who's going to stop this duo in the backfield, Lamar and Derrick Henry. Well, Derrick Henry comes in week one. I mean, yeah, he has a couple touchdowns, but he's like averaging like 3 yards per carry. And then y'all come out and say, oh, well, we don't need him to do 150 yards. We just need him to get us a third down. Like, kind of down, like, well, that's not why y'all paid him the amount of money y'all paid him to come. Like, but okay, that's what y'all say y'all are. Y'all don't need him to be that type of dog, but like, I think that is what y'all need him to be. Like y'all were averaging like 200 yards per game on the ground with a unit with Lamar, Hill, J.K., Gus. Now you got Derrick Henry, who's hasn't been effective in the last couple of years, but just been on a volume type of scheme where he's just getting fed, but he's not effective. I mean, some games he doesn't do anything. Some games he does pop off in the second half for big runs. And just that volatility now. And Lamar, I don't know if he can lead an offense all by himself. Just the O line is as good as they'll be. They're young because they couldn't go out and buy anybody. Like they couldn't re-sign the guys they wanted to re-sign because they couldn't afford them because other Mark Andrews' contract, saying the fucking Derrick Henry's new contract, Lamar's 200 and something million contract that he made sure that he wanted. Like now it's up to you. Like, all right, like this is your team, big boss man. Go out there and do it.
Hey, I can't wait to see like in 5 years how many of these quarterbacks that got these crazy bags actually get them a chip to go with them.
Yeah, like whenever your team is so top heavy on contract side, like you're really hoping that they can do what they're supposed to do. And this is the Raiders squad where like I'm not talking that Gardner outplayed them, but like it was respectable quarterback play to get him within field goal range early. There's a couple turnover on downs they had where like they were across the 50. Like their defense was allowing this Raiders offense to get across the 50 all second half. Devontae Adams waking up, cooking that secondary in the second half, getting the touchdown. They're doing this all without a run game, like Garnu is, and Ravens, like, there's another team where it's kind of like sketchy. Like, who would have thought? Like, can Lamar, like, you have stars, but like, sometimes stars aren't the glue guys and the shit that, they aren't the role players. We see this happen in basketball all the time. Like, just going out and getting the stars doesn't equal championships.
And this defense, they got caught a few times because they beat like that.
Yeah. Hopefully they turn around because, football is good when the Ravens are in playoff picture and everything.
Yeah, football is pretty fun when the boys lock it in. But we'll see, man. They saying John Harbaugh's play call has been questionable for these first two games.
They have been. I do agree with that. Next game, Jaguars losing their home opener to the Browns, 13-18. My big thing that I wrote down for this game was Deshaun Watson outplayed Trevor Lawrence. Like, it wasn't like he was, slicing and dicing, but he used his legs a little bit. He just did. It was like a shit sandwich and a shit sandwich with mustard. It was like he just did just enough more. He had that little mustard on that motherfucker that made him a little bit better. Just these are two teams that I don't expect shit from. Apparently, like, I thought the Jags were gonna be nice, but I can't. Like, Trevor Lawrence does not look like the guy that from last year and the year before. I don't know. This whole offense looks out of sync. Everything with the Jags looks terrible. Defensive, offensive. I expected them to win the division, and that's not the teams that's showing up these past 2 weeks.
Damn, bro, I hope I didn't choose that with you.
Yeah, we both took the Jags.
Over the Texans?
Over the Browns. Oh, for the division? No, you took the Texans.
Oh, okay. Oof. Oof. But yeah, I mean, you're not lying. I think the Browns, they didn't play stellar like offensively, but they played better. 22, 30. Let me see where the team stats. They were able to throw for 172 yards. They were able to rush for 125, and they had 13. Nah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. This Browns team still sucks.
That's what I'm saying. It's a shit sandwich versus shit sandwich with mustard. Like, it wasn't like one was out there killing the other. It was just one just it sucked even worse.
Yeah. I was screaming Doug Peterson isn't that guy, but I guess I gotta start screaming it louder. But yeah, I don't see maybe the Jaguars they lock in, but they go on streaks. They go on runs of being sorry, and then they go on runs of being good. So we'll see when that good run comes back.
I forgot to bring this up for the Ravens game, but kickers are currently 35 or 37 on 50-yard field goals. 35 or 37. The two misses are both from Justin Tucker.
Wow.
And
I also forgot to bring this up when we were talking to Falcons. You know what predicament I was in for fantasy this week?
Oh, I saw the Saquon. You need a Saquon to put up there. I'm like, that ain't happening.
But I had Saquon and Jake Elliott, and the only reason why I didn't get it is because that drop. If Saquon catches that ball and scores the touchdown, I win the game. And then Jake Elliott kicks the extra point, I win the game and get that extra one. Because it would have been like a 0.82, but I get the extra one. So that's bad. But he dropped that bitch. And then if they had brought it down and Jake Elliott had kicked the 50, it would have been close. I don't know if they're.
You still would have went to overtime. It would have just hoped that they get the ball first, they stall out, but Saquon catches a few passes along the way.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we had that, but instead my Falcons won. So I was like, no, I'll take that. No, I'll take that. I'll take that every day.
No, that's like whenever you take the plus points, you might as well take the underdog too, because you don't want to be stuck in a predicament where I got +7, but I didn't want the other team to win because I got the money line also on the other. It's like, nah, man, like take the whole fucking thing. But next game down the slate, we have the Jets getting their first win, 24-17. Titans lose. Will Levis does it once again with the backhand flip toss that ends up being an interception, a costly interception. Some say costing them the game type of interception. And Jets find a way to get a win. Offense still hasn't really clicked yet. The rookie that they got in, Braylon Allen, youngest player in the NFL, he goes off for 2 touchdowns. did enough. They did another. This is another example of this team that just did enough this week.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants were not the Giants. The Titans were consistent with their scoring. I mean, I was watching this game on the red zone, and I thought the Titans had a chance of winning this game. Once I seen Will Levis throw that touchdown to Calvin Ridley because he threaded the fuck out the needle, I was like, huh, maybe they could do this, but the Jets proved that they're the better team, but not by much. Like I'm not. These are teams that like. This isn't a shit sandwich versus shit sandwich, but like this is not the Jets team. I had number two in the division.
Yeah, they also get that blocked punt that end up getting them a field goal to go up by 7. But like the block punt, you're not, you can't. These are not plays you're relying on. Like we said this about the Cowboys after week 1. Like they had really good defense and plays that you can't rely upon, and then you see what happened week 2 against the Saints. Like they get absolutely dumpster fucked. Like yeah, like you can't always rely on some of these pop plays. You can't rely on Will Levis to fumble and throw an interception in the same game.
Uh,
Aaron Rodgers Tuesday will he's seen very chill and very, one step at a time, one win at a time. So we'll see. Then we got Vikings beating the 49ers, another big upset of the
what
week.
the fuck?
Sam Darnold, bro. People we needs a case study on quarterbacks that like we need to watch Bryce Young because he got benched. So after they end up moving on and he goes to a different team, we need to see what happens to him because Sam Darnold balling, Baker Mayfield balling. It's like once you get out of Carolina, you seem to get a lot better.
No, that boy Florio said that Sam Darnold has proved that quarterbacks should be able to argue and petition that they do not want to play for organizations like the Panthers and stuff like that. Like they're gonna put them in terrible positions, and they won't motherfucking be able to
Pull
flourish.
Eli Manning. Say, I'm not going to fucking San Diego.
You got to be nice like that though. But they So yeah, I don't know what to explain it, but Sam Darnold did his thing, and that was another reason why I lost in fantasy because Justin Jefferson got all of his fucking points on one play, 97 yards. And the thing about it was that yeah, he ran 97 yards, but he also cut up the whole sideline to get that to keep the angle to get the touchdown. So that's like an extra 50 something, like just off a hustle. So I was like, wow. And I had to take that to the chin. But it was all good because their defense is showing up.
Yeah, and everyone remembers the 97-yard touchdown, but no one's going to remember how it was 4th and goal on the 3-yard line before the 49ers, and they get stopped. Like, real quick, shout out Brian Flores. That defense is humming. He's throwing some exotic packages out there. He's showing you cover 0, and it's actually a cover 2. It's a man-to-man. Like he is showing you these quarterbacks crazy packages. That's why some of these people are having like really bad games. But they get stopped on the 3-yard line. If they don't get stopped right there, we don't see the Jay Jettis 97-yarder. But I'm just saying all that just to point out like the 49ers offense was there. They had 35 minutes of possession time compared to the 25. People want to come at Purdy. Like Purdy threw for 317 yards. Only had like 8 incompletions. It was like 30 for 38 or 30 for 39. I don't have the exact number in front of me. And it's like right now, if you're crucifying him for that, what the fuck you got to say about the 90% of the rest of the league? Because 317 yards, a lot of offensive coordinators and coaches right now would kill for a quarterback that's throwing 300 yards because there's a lot of motherfuckers throwing 180, 170, like the fucking 200 to 220 is like considered good after week 2 right now. Like yeah.
Kirk had a great game. He only threw 320.
Yeah, like fucking Brock Purdy. Here it is, 319, 28, 36, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He let like they could have settled for 3. Instead they go for it, they get stopped. One of their blocks early in the game gets one of their punts early in the game gets blocked. who was it? Jordan Mason, I believe. Somebody fumbled after the Brock Purdy interception. So it was just like as a unit, they all collectively fucked up and like they took the L. But this was another game where it's like you can't expect like they really shot themselves in both feet and in the chest. Like they fumbled, interception, turnover on downs, blocked punt. Like yeah, they're gonna lose that game 9 times out of 10, no matter who the opponent is.
Yeah, facts. The block. I was about to say the block punt is crazy because I think there were 2 blocked punts and a blocked field goal this week.
Yeah, you were. I just kept noticing every now and then you would tie like I wouldn't see it on red zone. You'd just be like, "Huh, a block punt," or "Huh, a block field goal." This is a weird week. Like you would keep
And
it.
they were all like at 1 o'clock. Like it was crazy because I remember just thinking like, huh, another one. That's interesting.
And then one of the locks that we had: Chargers 26, Panthers 3.
I just
I think the bigger question is not even the game. It's Kev. Is this an 0-17 potential candidate right now with the Panthers?
nah. There's gonna be some. There's gonna be 2 bullshit ass teams that lose to these niggas, but they're setting themselves up to be that way because they don't do good anything good. Like they don't block.
Dusty.
They don't. They can't run the ball. They can't. They can't block for a quarterback, so their quarterback can't throw something to the receivers. Their coach doesn't know what to fucking do. Their defense gets cooked. Their defense just let a motherfucker hang 41. And then this defense just let J.K. Dobbins run for 131 on their stupid eyes. Like, and Gus Edwards got him some too, ran for 59. Like, there's Quentin Johnson scored 2 touchdowns. Like,
The Quentin Johnson is booty cheeks.
but he's been able to score these last 2 games. Because he doesn't even have like crazy numbers like 6 targets, 5 receptions, 51 yards, but 2 of them was in the end zone. And J.K. Dobbins was flipping his way into the end zone, burning motherfuckers. Like, Panthers suck.
Yeah, Panthers. They're benching Bryce Young and they're bringing in Andy Dalton's going to start next week. There's literally no benefit to that. Even other team organizations like the Bucks and Falcons have came to his defense. Like, bro, y'all gain absolutely nothing with Andy Dalton. Like, he's not going to lead y'all anywhere. The best y'all could do is at least hope that Bryce Young gets more because this is his third. This is his third offensive system in 3 years. Like, this is a new head coach, new offensive play calling, new. Like, he had to learn. This is his third system he's had to learn, or second system in 3 years, and.
Second system.
Oh, third system in 2 years. My bad. Even worse. So yeah, it's like you can't completely blame him, especially whenever the O line stinking. The whole maybe Andy Dalton comes in and we see next week like, oh, this is how you're supposed to be running an offense, but now you just completely broke the kid. Like the kid ain't gonna, you benched him after what's going in the game 3. He's not gonna come in with no confidence anymore.
Yeah, he got to pull a big. He got to go get comfortable somewhere. And there's openings. He can go to New England. He can go to Denver. There's openings. There's a lot of people that want a quarterback that wants to rejuvenate himself. Seattle got Geno right now, but you know what I'm saying.
Go sit behind somebody, learn a little bit. Get the clipboard. It ain't no problem, but don't get benched at the start of the season.
How do you feel about? So we can talk as much as we want about the Panthers. Like, how do you feel about this Chargers team? 2-0.
I think the real test hasn't came yet. Yeah, they're 2-0, but the first win was to the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders beat the Ravens, but it was to the Raiders squad and to a Panther squad. Next week they're playing the Steelers, so that's gonna be the real test. I just kind of want to see. They've been playing those games out of head. And you can run the ball the way they have, which is a Jim Harbaugh specialty. You're kind of seeing a flipping mentality there where they're running the ball a lot, which works when you're ahead. But if you're in a game where you might be behind, we haven't seen that yet. But against the Raiders and Panthers, they were ahead. You don't have to rely on Herbert and everything. And the lack of weapons Herbert's going to have at wide receiver. We haven't seen that situation yet. So the jury's still out for them. For me, I do think they have a beast of an offensive line, though.
Yeah, I don't want to give my preview away too early, but I do want to see that offensive line versus that D line because that's going to be good. That's going to be good football.
Yeah, Joe Alt, rookie tackle, held the Pro Bowler Jadeveon Clowney to lowest grade ever in his career. 11-year career. He was graded at PFF 30.5 going up against Joe Alt.
Nice.
Second career start ever. So, yeah. And
That
Rashawn
boy,
Slater ain't too bad on the other side.
that boy about to pull a Tristan Wirfs from they Sewell type shit. Like, oh shit, there's another killer in this motherfucker.
And then next game down the slate, Patriots almost getting the dub. We go to overtime over in Foxborough. Seahawks get the dub here. Geno Smith and them slow. They scared me because I had him as my lock, and we said they dumped the Gatorade. We were so full of it, and there at any time I felt like Geno and them boys could fuck me. I felt like they did fuck me, and they just kept the Patriots in the ball game. And I was like, bro, this is. I felt like I was gonna lose because of that.
I mean, this game was scary because I don't like when it's like a bust because the Patriots come out and score. Motherfucking, and then they don't come out and score in the fourth in the first with 4 minutes left. They score a touchdown, and then the Seahawks come back and score a touchdown, but their offense didn't look too great before that. And then on top of that, DK just caught them boys slipping and then burnt the fuck out of everybody. So you didn't really trust this team going into the rest of the game. And then because I'm on red zone, I'm watching like 5 other games at the same time. So every time we go down there, it's the Patriots doing something. They're kicking a field goal. Ramondre Stevenson is running the ball. Like, I just didn't know what the fuck the Seahawks had going on until they got that. I want to say it was the second possession in overtime they got, and they were able to make something happen with it. Let me see.
Yeah, no, the Patriots stall out and they have to punt to the Seahawks in overtime, and then Seahawks go down. This is where a little bit of controversy came in because Jack Jones gets hit with a defensive pass interference that moved the ball to like the 50 on like the first or second pass, and it was a very ticky tacky play. But I mean, I wasn't mad whenever the Seahawks came marching down because of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know what to call this Seahawks offense, but the Patriots are showing that they have life, and they're not a team that's just going to get steamrolled.
No, they're playing. They're playing for their coach. I think Mayo actually he's proven to people like, hey, I got these boys humming. They're not the best unit, but they're cohesive and they're solid. It's gonna be a tough night for everybody.
Facts. And the Patriots, man, they're doing that. I mean, oh damn, 358 yards, 358 yards of offense, 312 passing. Seahawks are not nice.
It was the Seahawks threw Seahawks could not run the ball, but they didn't have Kenneth Walker, so that might have been part of the reason. Shaq Charbonnet did not look like a legit running back one. Patriots opposite hand can't throw the ball. I don't know if they can't throw the ball. They just won't allow Jacoby Brissett to throw the ball. It's very much smart offense, but they can run the fuck out of the ball, and they had two. They had Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson running amok. So that's just hard nose and defense and running. That's gonna be the Patriots' forte this year, and you're gonna make more mistakes than them.
Facts. Like, even the penalties, only 3 penalties this game. Like, you're not fucking up. And that was one of those plays, was that ticky-tacky play in OT.
Yeah, that really maybe shouldn't have been called. But then we had the ass whooping of the weekend with the Cowboys home opener getting blown the fuck out 44-19. It was, what was it, 35-14 or 35-16 at halftime. The numbers don't give it justice. They took the air out of fucking Jerry World and they just beat the shit out of them from start to finish. There's a statistic that was like Derek Carr is 15 for 15 in his last possessions to lead it for a score. And it was like NFL record or something. I don't know. It was like last 15 positions all in a score for Derek Carr. And then he went on for more scores, I'm pretty sure, right after that statistic popped up on my screen. Yeah, the Buzzsaw down in Dallas World.
Yeah, this game is another reason why I fucking lost in fantasy, because I watched a motherfucker pick Alvin Kamara with auto pick. Like, I remember watching him pick Alvin Kamara thinking, oof, auto pick's a bitch. Until I had to deal with Alvin Kamara scoring 4 touchdowns because this fucking Cowboys defense that I thought was phenomenal, stopping around with a motherfucker like Micah Parsons and big dog down low Gregory and shit. Man, I will say this game had a lot of like crazy plays because I was watching the top 15 plays from this week, and they kept going. They went back to this game like 5 times. Like the Saints were doing some crazy shit. Rick, that boy Raheem Shaheed. I mean, even the the plays that the Cowboys did make were some crazy plays. Like the CD Lamb touchdown. I forget how long was it? Motherfucking 65 yards, and he just burnt the fuck out of everybody. The he touchdown for 70 yards, doing that shit again. Alvin Kamara breaking for 57 yards on the pass. Like there was just so many crazy like plays on it. There's the interception. I forgot who got it. Like it looked like a Madden type pick. So this game was good football, and if you only watch the highlights, you think it'd be close. But no, the Cowboys didn't look good at all. If it wasn't for those crazy splash plays, they would have been the star.
Bro, Derek Carr hits the fucking Michael Jackson in the end zone. Fucking on their ass. Like it was disrespectful. Alvin Kamara, I was told by fantasy expert he's washed. So yeah, that shit really. If you got him and whatever round you did, you're sitting there with like a pot of fucking gold on your lap. Rashid Shaheed is the real deal. I kept wanting to say, oh, he's no. This is multiple years now, multiple weeks. I've seen this man just take the tops off of fucking defenses. And Derek Carr has only thrown 39 passes this season. He's only attempted 39 passes this season. Like that's less. That's like 19 a game you're averaging, and he's putting up the numbers he's putting up right now. It's absolutely insane what the Saints is. It's all gonna come back down to earth, but it is kind of like them versus the Eagles next week coming up. Like that's gonna be a good matchup. Like we got a fucking buzzsaw right now on the Saints, and I like Derek Carr, always have. So I'm kind of happy to see it. It makes NFC South definitely more fun to watch.
Are they playing in New Orleans?
They might be playing in the Orleans. I usually know I don't look ahead, but I do make like when I hear it, it is logged in my brain. I don't ever look towards the head of the schedules. Then we have another upset of the. It was a lot of upsets this weekend. Lions losing at home to the Buccaneers, 20-16. Um, I will say that it was more. I felt like personally, it was more of the Lions losing this game than it was the Bucks winning the game. If you look at time of possession, the Lions were all over that. The total yards, 463 yards for the Lions, 216 for the Bucks. 26 first downs for the Lions, 14 for the Bucks. It just comes down to red zone efficiency, where the Lions got stopped a couple times. Jared Goof is making a lot more appearances than I would want him to this season after I had him for my MVP candidate. And yeah, 2 interceptions, multiple turnovers on downs in the fourth quarter. And then they also, they had that fake punt that worked within their own 5 or whatever, but that was pretty cool. But other than that, Lions look good, and then of course they would fuck it up with an interception or turnover.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put respect on the Bucks defense because they were missing a lot. Vita Vea, Antoine Winfield, all that extra bullshit, and they came together and they held it down, especially on on that last play because they were in the red zone. Like they were there. Like all the Lions had to do was get that first down, and then that's first and go.
Yeah, you are
But
right.
but they got that stop. And when they got that fourth down stop, I was like, okay, they just came to be the better team because their defense tried. Hutchinson had 5 sacks. Their defense tried,
I
but
forgot about that part of the game.
yeah, when it came down to it, Baker baked. Like he cooked. People are talking about some Baker a top 10 quarterback. I mean, you can say that if you want, but I don't know if this is the league to be flexing shit like that. But this is the year to be flexing that shit. But you gotta respect it. They're 2-0 for a reason. They played well. Do I think they're the best team in the division? Nope. But they did do their thing.
Yeah, and you knocked off a team that is, sometimes quality of opponent matters. That shit matters in college football. When you beat someone in the top 25, that shit matters. Like that's what that was to me. It's like, okay, the Bucks aren't just gonna kind of be just. They're not okay with just being middle of the pack. They
Mm.
have higher aspirations.
And that was a statement game too because they lost twice in Detroit last year. So coming but going back and getting the dub meant something to them.
NFC South looking tough right now. Next game on the slate: Packers beating the Colts 16-10. No Jordan Love, no problem. Malik Willis does only throws 14 passes, completes
I was
12
about to say
of them.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs, I think it was his third career best day ever. 32 carries, 151 rushing yards. Colts offense looks shitty. Anthony Richardson, 3 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor, like fucking only needed 12 carries to crack 100 yards. Like I felt like I would be so mad because I was like, I had Jonathan Taylor to score a touchdown, and there was multiple times they're in the red zone and it would have stopped. They would be like, "Oh, Jonathan Taylor's the reason why we got here. Let's stop using him." And they would like Anthony Richardson would just 3 and out in the red zone. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like y'all just had a good drive and then y'all didn't. Um, Packers though, they're the real ball. Like they really had the best like weekend because I mean, not a lot of people picked them to win. A lot of people were saying their season might be over before it even started because of Love's injury. And I'm not saying they're going to be able to do this week in and week out, but hey, you got your first win. Y'all, a lot of people say y'all might not win any without Love. Like you knock down one, why can't y'all just steamroll a couple more together? If you go 3-3 while he's gone, that ain't bad.
Yeah, I literally win 2 games straight. But especially because the Packers don't play their best football till December. So that this game just showed Matt LaFleur is a great coach. That Packers defense is leading the league in takeaways right now with 6 and 5 and 1 interceptions, 3 on Jalen Hurts this week, 2 interceptions on Jalen Hurts last week, 3 interceptions on Anthony Richardson this week. So they can get takeaways. And when you can get takeaways, you can control that ball. And I guess I have to take my take back. I have to retract my take when I said if you built around Anthony Richardson like you built around Jalen Hurts, Anthony Richardson can probably be a better has more potential than Jalen Hurts. I have to take that back for now. Let's see, because maybe I was just drunk from the first game because this definitely wasn't a great showing. 200 yards, you guys were down, so you needed to throw the ball. Like I wasn't feeling it from Anthony Richardson. And when he did score that touchdown to kind of wasn't a garbage touchdown, but when he did get that touchdown to Alec Pierce, it was more like we're not gonna win the game. Yeah, like we're not gonna win the game, but like it was nice.
I will say also like if you're not completing the passes, being the athlete you are, we're okay for you to take off. You know what I mean? Like you only attempted 4 rushes. You had 37 yards. Like they were effective rushes, but 34 pass attempts. Like unless you're completing them, we do not want you with a 50% completion percentage. Like if you're not completing the passes, do you like tuck that bitch and run? You're the athlete we drafted. We didn't draft you to throw damn near almost 40 passes, and when they're not completing, like you're not seeing the receivers, you're not reading the defenses correct. Like use them fucking legs. We saw Kyler did it early in his career. Jaden Daniels is doing it early in his career. Lamar did it early in his career. Josh Allen definitely did it early in his career. Like we got you because of the shit that you'll become later in your career. Like be okay.
Yeah, when he's one of those you can force him to throw it like that's what that's what make the Patriots so good. They take away what you want to do. So like the way that this defense forced them to throw it, and when they force them to throw it, they can force them to make mistakes. So shout out this Packers defense.
Yeah, looking good right now. And next game, divisional game. I knew it was a fucking trap. I just couldn't take it. Cardinals beating the Rams 41-10. Absolute ass whooping start to finish. Marvin Harrison back-to-back first quarter touchdowns. Setting the tone early, and then it wasn't over there. Kyler throws another one to Elijah Higgins. and the Rams just got fucking bulldozed early and were so far down that they had to go for it on fourth downs. They had to throw the ball. They had Cooper Kupp gets hurt. He's out of the game. He's gonna miss at least 4 weeks. Jonah Jackson, the offensive tackle, gets hurt. He's gonna miss. He's on IR. I saw a statistic. What was it? It was like, yeah, Cooper Kupp, Jonah Jackson starting right guard, John Johnson starting safety. All will miss extended playing time. And then they showed like the whole list of their IR for the after 2 weeks of football, and it's absolutely insane how many people they got missing after just 2 weeks.
That shit is nuts. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's football, baby. But this was the Cardinals team I was expecting to pop out last week. I said video game Kyler coming into effect, and they're gonna get the upset. What they didn't know was that video game Kyler was gonna lead to unlocking cheat code Marvin Harrison, because Marvin Harrison probably one of the best first quarters I've seen from a rookie. 2 touchdowns on the first two throws to him, which were crazy big, crazy tough touchdowns. Like these weren't easy like throws. And then the next catch was an insane catch over the defender. And then on top, and then he had one more. And then after that, the defense is kind of adjusted. They said, "Well, we can't let him do this, do us like this all game." So
yeah, and Kyler looked good too. Kyler's back in the video game. Like this, you can't catch me while I'm dancing back here. And then
facts,
someone eventually gets open and he just slings that bitch to him.
facts. And that's when he's at his best, like when he's running around the pocket, extending the play, seeing where seeing his receivers are coming back to him and they're trying to make something happen. Like when video game colors in effect, you see it. And this was what showed up. But what got me was their defense. I felt like every point at this game, it felt like like you even said in the chat, like the Matthew Stafford comeback is about to be crazy. Like you thought this defense would have slowed down. No, they wasn't giving up shit, especially when Cooper Kupp was gone. Like, oh, we know now you don't have all your favorite weapons. We not giving up shit.
Yeah, that and also the pressure I felt like Stafford was under. Yeah, Stafford gets sacked 5 times. Not even gonna count the amount of hits and pressures that he got that didn't turn into sacks. But I have the injuries of Cooper Kupp IR, Puka IR, Tyler Higbee PUP list, 3 tackles on the IR, 2 guards on the IR, defensive lineman, 2 corners, and a safety IR or PUP list. Yeah, it's not pretty. They're so banged up where this is. Some people where I saw someone say, "Hey, just trade Stafford to Miami and get and load up on the first round pick that y'all don't have anymore." I was like, I honestly ain't even gonna oppose to that. I Stafford in Miami, I might be kind of bring that leadership down here, baby. No, but that's just because how many injuries they had. That the season don't look good. You're 0-2. We started this episode by saying teams that start 0-2 typically do not do anything the rest of the year, and you have all those injuries that are going to plague you. Next game down the slate, we got 3 more. We got the Broncos losing at home to the Steelers, 13-6. We were both on the Steelers here. I was super on the Steelers. Bo Nix fucking sucks. Check. 2 interceptions for Bo Nix. Check. Empty bullshit yards for Bo Nix. Yep. And he seems like he's already afraid in week 2. Like, I don't know. He doesn't look far. He kind of stares down his people. I mean, unless you have something nice to say about Bo Nix, I know I don't. So,
I mean, he's another rookie quarterback in a bad situation.
He's 26 years old. He's not like the others.
And he's already aged out to be like doing these small things. I don't know. I'm not gonna get too deep into it. All I gotta say is shout out to the Steelers. They finally scored offensive touchdown in the first quarter. In the first quarter, after that, they're still showing the slow offense. I don't know what Arthur Smith is supposed to be, but we said this in the preview. As long as you can score as long as you can score 14, which they scored 13, but it was all enough. Their defense only gave up 6. defense is going to win them a lot of games this season, and it's showing.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull. I don't have it in front of me, but there was like there was two touchdowns and a huge play that was all called back by ticky tack calls. Um, that's what everyone's talking about when it comes to the Steelers. Was like there was like a 60-yard touchdown that would get called back. And then there was the George Pickens like 8-yard touchdown that got called back. That would have been like really the score would have been like 30 to whatever the fuck it is, 30 to 10, whatever. I don't know what they have, 6. Yeah. So there's 14 points 27 to 6 that ended up not happening. One was two I think were DPI for Pickens, and once again very ticky tacky. But that's why people were very happy with the fucking Chargers, because not Chargers but with the Steelers, is because their offense, like, Fields' numbers don't show it, but he had a really good day. They had what would have been a 200-yard day turned into only like 100 and some change, but he's also getting first downs with his legs, and he wasn't supposed to start. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's like, if you weren't supposed to even be in the position, and you are in the position, and you're not turning the ball over, and the team is going on scoring drives. Like, yeah, it's only 13 points this week, but I'm telling you, that 13 was supposed to be like 24, 27 if it wasn't for the refs calling some things back. And the defense is winning them games, because like Joey Porter Jr., I think he's only allowed like 2 catches his whole season as the starting number 1 corner, and he's a second year. Like he was rookie season was last year, so he's going crazy. No one's talking about him because TJ Watts is fucking going bananas on the line. But like, yeah, their cornerback, they found themselves a legit cornerback 1 in Joey Porter Jr. They're calling it the Joey Porter Jr. Island over there. Like, Jit is not fucking around.
We'll see if he can keep that level of play up. But and that's why I came at their offense. I never really said anything just about the still Justin Fields per se, but just like the offense.
Here it is. Joey Porter Jr. has only allowed 3 catches in his 2 games.
Nice. And that's guarding Drake London.
Drake London and Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
Not like crazy wide receiver ones, but still like legit wide receivers.
Nice.
Then our next game, Chiefs beating the Bengals 26-25. Comes down to a 50-yarder Harrison Buckner kick that the Chiefs had no worry about. They got within the 50-yard range, and they started running the ball. They said, fuck it. We already in field goal range. We don't need to get no closer. Harrison Buckner right down the pipes. They win the game. A lot of people mad about the refs, mad about the DPI, mad about this and that. But what do you have to say about the game?
I mean, I would love to come out here and be like, man, Chiefs cheating. But he's like, I'm not even gonna do that, because like when I do see it, I'm gonna call it. But when you look at it like in real time, it's probably really hard to call these calls. But after seeing 100 replays slow down, I'm like, yeah, he got there early. This is definitely a penalty. Like, a lot of the penalties that they called were fair penalties, especially the critical ones that a lot of people were caused to be believed were the cause for the game and shit. But the thing for me was, I want to say the Bengals blew it, but Patrick Mahomes looked quite normal. He threw 2 interceptions, and that second one might have been one of the best interceptions I've seen in a while. One hand on the sideline, boom. And you're telling me the very next play, Joe Burrow gets sacked, fumbles it, and they take that bitch back to the house. And now you went from being up, and all you have to do was hold this lead. Like, if you came down this bitch and kicked a field goal, y'all be straight. There's still 9 minutes left. No. You get motherfucking sacked, fumble that bitch, and now you got to start playing from behind. And you guys kick the field goal. And then what do Pat Mahomes and them do? Run out that clock, kick that field goal, and take their ass, kick y'all boys out of Arrowhead. Jamar Chase, they had an answer for Jamar Chase. Like, this is a very interesting. Like, you want to charge it to the Raiders start off slow, every year, but I don't know, man.
And I know Trent McDuffie had that boy Jamar Chase in lock, but I mean, back to back weeks where Jamar Chase, you're battling for a contract, this and that. I know you're playing, so I give you kudos because there are other players that I'm not going to play at all without a new contract, even though you're under contract because of what was already negotiated prior. I understand yours is a little different, a rookie deal, whatever, but you are playing, but you can't, like this isn't looking good in the negotiation room. It's like, hey, like this is back to back weeks where like are legit, like, because we don't have T Higgins. Like you're and moving forward, if we pay you the money we're gonna pay you, we will not have T Higgins. So you need to be able to do this all by yourself with the surrounding cast that you have with you, and it doesn't. Justin Jefferson was asked a question about the Vikings. Oh, what did you see the Vikings did to Garrett Wilson last week that they're gonna do to you? He goes, respectfully, I'm not Garrett Wilson. By meaning like I'm fucking Justin Jefferson. I'm gonna go on to be one of the greats when my career is all said and done. Like you can't lump me in with some of these other guys. And like if Jamar Chase wants to be that, like you want to make more money than Justin Jefferson, and you have to be in that conversation and be able to do the things that he's doing with the quarterback play that he's gonna have from wherever he has. But like you have Joe fucking Burrow who looked pretty damn good last week, and he didn't look like the Joe Burrow from week one, and you were still a non-factor. Like that, and like, this is the big game too. Like this is your rival. This is the guys that y'all have to get past in the playoffs. Like this is a marquee matchup here, and I didn't feel like I was looking at a top two wide receiver in the league. That's all I'm saying. I didn't feel like there was a top three receiver that was playing in that game right there.
Damn, Paul. Say less.
Like Tyreek Hill, it doesn't matter what our receiver. It doesn't matter who he's had. We've seen it. Like I was going back in history, looking at like years of like 2018 wide receiver leading list, and like number one would be a guy like Julio Jones, and we're like, yeah, Julio Jones doesn't matter who you would have, but there would be guys that had 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards, who weren't a Julio Jones type of motherfucker. It was like, yeah, they was there for the moment and gone by a couple years later. I'm not saying that's gonna be Chase, but Chase doesn't. He doesn't have the best route running. He doesn't. He's not the best in 50-50 balls. He kind of has this really good speed and size. I like unless I'm wrong somewhere else, let me know. But like there's certain things you can game plan for.
Mm-hmm. Nah, that's facts. I mean, it's just a game you got to win. Like, if you want to set the tone, you want to show that you're one of the best teams in the league, you got to win this game. And they didn't do the errors. They didn't, like, there were just errors. Like, if you don't get that pass interference, you don't get this fumble in those critical downs, maybe this game doesn't, maybe you walk out of Arrowhead with a dub. But the Bengals, we'll see. They naturally prefer to start off slow. They like to pick up around the bye week time. So we'll see what they can do. But the fact that shout out Joe Burrow for picking up his play from last week, because we don't know who the fuck was here last week.
Yeah, yeah. Still haven't found Travis Kelce. Next game on the slate, final game on the slate, primetime game, Sunday night. Texans beating the Bears 19-13. Both on the Texans. I felt like most people I talked to felt like the Texans had this game in the bag, and it definitely showed. CJ Stroud didn't make no errors. He looked good. I wouldn't say he looked phenomenal, but he played a good ass ball game. Nico Collins balled out. Joe Mixon getting hurt is gonna be something to circle because he might miss a few weeks. Oh, I forgot to bring up a few injuries throughout the slate. Pacheco, he broke his fibula. He's gonna be out for probably the rest of the year.
No, 6 to 8 weeks, but he's trying to come back.
6 to 8. Okay, then Debo's gonna miss a couple weeks, and I think we talked to Cooper Kupp. So for the most part, we're all set on any fantasy plays like that. But yeah, and
McCaffrey got put on the IR.
CMC is on IR. Yeah, Hollywood Brown's not going to play at all this year.
You know what the three people I named have in common? The three people we named: Debo, CMC, and Isaiah Pacheco all have in common?
They're on your team.
Of course they are.
Go out there and get. I mean, Kareem Hunt was picked up by the Chiefs, or Carson Steele, get the rookie.
I got Jordan Mason. I just need a new
Oh yeah,
flex. But I chose to when I was drafting, I chose to go deep. And now I see that like even that didn't mean shit. I couldn't imagine if I just went top heavy.
yeah. No, that's depth is the number one thing to win fantasy. That's facts. Is you have the guys that you hit on in the later rounds, they definitely matter when down to weeks.
Facts.
But this
But
game,
yeah,
we got the Texans winning, beating the Caleb Williams. We got Caleb Williams not looking too hot down in the streets. They saying.
they can't block for that boy.
No, they can't.
One of the biggest things in life, like I now understand why you're an O line and D line type of guy. Because like it doesn't matter what shiny, nice toys you have for somebody, what position you put them in, and where they can go. If you can't block for the boy and you can't block for the run, so the run game can keep the defense honest, there's not much to do.
I will say I have seen a statistic of what their pass like their grade is, and their grade for like when for pass protection, the Rams are dead last. Rams are the worst team bar none. Like there isn't even a close second. Like they are just way like they're not even on the same graphic as everybody else.
Wow.
They're in the same ballpark as the Titans, the Patriots, and the Seahawks. Only the Seahawks out of those four teams have had good quarterback play. Like Seahawks, Geno's might, be, but he also has like DK. I'm not saying the Bears don't have weapons like DK and Tyler Lockett and stuff, but like you know, there might be a little exception to the rule because for whatever reason, Geno gets it done throwing 300 yards. Um, but yeah, the Titans and the Patriots are two teams that are also struggling at quarterback. I mean, Jacoby, they're not letting him throw the ball really, and Will Levis is flashes here and there, but nothing crazy. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams is in that little ballpark of pass protection. Not the best, definitely not good, definitely bottom five with the other guys. But I think it glares a little bit more than the others whenever you have the Keenan Allens, the DJ Moores, and the fact you're on prime time. Like you're a number one pick, not just number one pick, but like you were that guy. You were the one that they handing the torch off. Not your fault. Like this is the equivalent if you're a basketball guy, like this was Zion Williamson getting drafted. Like this was the next LeBron. Like, oh yeah, they're already naming you that before you even came into the league. You look at these highlights, you're doing shit in college no one's ever seen before. But yeah, you lost, but yeah, you still look great individually. You go in, I mean, and it just I mean I don't blame him because they don't block for him. I mean, they're also he's the only rookie out of the teams I named with that terrible blocking. And if you are a rookie with that type of blocking, I mean, it's kind of hard to do anything for yourself. I think his biggest fuck up is the fact that he happens to play the year after CJ Stroud. Like if no CJ Stroud year happens, you have time for this to happen. But the fact that you're coming off the year with CJ Stroud, who didn't even go number one, has the year he has, I feel like a lot of people are holding him to a standard that isn't realistic. Like, no, he's not coming in to throw 350 yards and three touchdowns within 2 weeks. Like, that's not gonna happen.
I just think they're lucky to have their defense. Their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games.
Oh
But
yeah,
this team is not make well. At playing the way the offense is playing right now, I don't see this division being a three playoff team division.
no, I mean the Lions. They might not because of the Bears though. I mean the Lions can make it, the Vikings could make it right now, and then the Packers. We have to see how they look before Jordan Love come back from his injury, but it won't be the Bears right now with the way it's looking. It ain't because of the Caleb Williams immediate. He just he just doesn't look what I expected at all. I didn't expect him to be great, but like I just kind of like really take him back. Like, oh, he's not looking. I haven't seen a flash yet. I haven't seen a flash play of like anything where like I'm like, oh, okay, there's a number one pick right there. Similar to like Bryce Young, like when his first year, there wasn't like a play where you could still circle, but like, hey, this is why we took him number one.
Mm-hmm.
Doing this that no one else is able to do, or this is special. You're supposed to be that coming from USC. That was what you did like the off script shit. You're doing Mahomes shit in college, but like I haven't seen any of that. Like I haven't seen a deep pass that's like, oh, that's a money ball right there. He put that shit in a bucket, and I haven't seen like anything. And that's what worries me if I'm a Bears fan. It's like I would want to leave. I'm okay with him stinking it up, but show me something like a little flag, the teaser of what's to come.
No, that's facts. Well, we'll see.
Shit, Josh Allen was hurdling motherfuckers his rookie year. Because people love bringing up his rookie season and shit. I'm like, you go watch the clip. Motherfucker was jumping over linebackers. Like, that's different. Like, that's a flash. But, yeah, no. I mean, overall, not our best week. No double-digit wins yet. You went 9-7. I went 7-9. But, I mean, our 2-0 on my locks. You were 1-0. And then you went 1-0 on the dog. I went 0-1. So, not the worst week, but definitely could room for improvement a lot of these teams.
Oh yeah, we'll see, man. And shout out again, Kevin O'Connell on that Vikings team for beating the 49ers.
Shout out to the Raiders. Biggest dog on the slate getting a dub this weekend.
So shout out my Falcons coming from behind.
Another 6-point dog. There was a lot of 5 points or more dogs getting straight up wins.
On the road. And I said, dang, I wish I would. I remember I was like, I wanted to take my Falcons as a dog, but I ain't going to do it to myself.
Well, we'll be back with another week next week. We got Thursday night. We got boxing recap, boxing picks. We got UFC recap, UFC picks. We got a busy week of sports to bring y'all boys. But as always, we appreciate y'all watching. You know, like and subscribe. Comment what you thought on week 2, what bets you hit, what bets you lost. I'm Paul Pickle Wyndham. That's Kevin Waterboy Savoy. Y'all didn't know? Now y'all know, motherfuckers.